What's up, y'all? I am back with Being Mary Jane Season 1, Episode 3, Girls Night In. Oh, first of all, y'all, can I get y'all to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel? Click the notification bell button so you can be updated on every video that I drop. And be sure to like up my videos and check the algorithm. I'm sorry, y'all. Oh my God. The algorithms keep me going. Thank y'all, thank y'all, thank y'all. Um, Also, I don't know why I always clap my hands. Also, thank you for the new subscribers, and I appreciate everybody who's been on here. Y'all just don't know how much that makes me happy. Okay, um, that's all I have for you know little news here and there. Okay, just a lot of gratefulness and thank yous. Anyway, let's get into Mary Jane being Mary Jane. So y'all, the episode starts with Mary Jane arriving at Andre's hotel room. That's where they used to, they would get their getaways and whatnot. She asked him, what do you want? And then he asked her to marry her. And I was like, what? So he was like, I got drunk, just coming up with 1,000 excuses. Y'all, Andre is a coward. And so he was like, I got drunk, so I drove over to your house so I could tell you, what's what. I could tell you, what was going on. And he was like, I also wanted to tell you that I wanted to marry you. And I'm just like, but while you're actually married, see, it seems to me that you wanted to keep her. And you felt like if I give her this ring, she's going to stay while I fiddle and faddle over here with my wife. That's what it was giving. Okay. So y'all, I'm going to just say this. Looking back at this, oh my God, Dre sounds crazy. And I am reminded. I want y'all to know I am reminded why I never watched this show as a repeat. I have a couple repeat offenders that I watch. And this was one of the ones that I just didn't. So he was like, I tried to pray you away. I tried so hard. And I'm like, Andre, please spare me. So he was like, I need to tell my wife something. So you're going to put this all on the back of Mary Jane? Because you can't keep it a buck with your wife and you can't keep it in your pants. And instead of you actually just doing the normal thing, if you're not happy in a situation, leave. You want to string this woman along, not to mention constantly string your wife along and make her feel away because you can't make an adult decision. You want what you want when you want it. I'm sorry, y'all. I had to say that. And so she was just at the door. She just left. Like, girl, please. Anyway, in the next scene, we see her doing leg exercises, in her house. I don't know why I thought that was kind of important. And it was like, those are some of the things I do when I was in the gym. Y'all, I promise y'all this week, I'm going to be back in the gym because I feel like I've gained about 20 or 30 pounds here, and especially here. Like, I don't like it. Anyway, in the next scene, she pull up at her mom and dad's house. Niecy, she talks to her dad, greets Paul Sr. And, they decide to go out on a daddy-daughter date. And so he said, I'll make the arrangements and let you know. So Niecy comes down the stairs and asks, what are you doing here? And Niecy was like, so you're going to be late, like off rip. Mary Jane has a disposition. Her energy is nasty towards Niecy. And she was like, you're gonna be late for such and such for the doctor's appointment. We don't like to be late. I don't know. And so she was like, well, Niecy said, well, didn't you get my text message? And she was like, no. And she was like, well, I'm telling you that Dante, in a text message, to let you know that Dante was taking me and that I pushed the appointment up. And so she got mad. And I was like, why are you getting this upset? And so it's like she's visibly upset with Niecy. And so she gets in her car and she leaves. And it's like, are you upset or are you jealous? Low key, because I feel like All the smoke you have for Niecy is you projecting. Because honestly, you really mad because you rather be pregnant. And you looking at her like, I did way more than her. I surpassed her. This is your judgment. I surpassed her way more. And she got what I want. She's pregnant. Like, but look who she's pregnant by. And it's just like, I need y'all to stop doing that. Like, if you want a baby that bad, adopt. Because let's be clear, the Lord ain't gonna give you somebody else's husband. Okay? And not to mention, he's not gonna give you David, because David doesn't want to be in a relationship, let alone want to have a kid. Come on. Anyway, you're so wrapped in your career that I think you just want a baby just because it's the society's norm. Society's norm tell you to get your education for women. They tell you to, if they're not telling you to, just be with some guy and just procreate, and while you stay home and he does everything else, and you forget about your goals and your dreams and your aspirations, okay? It's the other thing. Your biological clock is ticking. Listen, if y'all got a biological clock, can y'all please throw that damn clock away? That is stupid. I'm sorry. They tell you get your education, obtain all of your goals, and that's cool. That's cool. That shows, what they call it, order. I guess it's the order of things, but at the same time, maybe certain things may not be in the car, so maybe you have to take another route. There are times where things in life can be unconventional. It's not going to go as planned. And I don't know why I said all this, but I'm saying that she has all of this smoke for Niecy, y'all, and it's just low key, I feel like, because she's jealous. And it's just because that young girl is pregnant. Anyway, so Mary Jane gets in her car and leaves, and Paul Sr. tells Niecy a simple apology for forgetting to tell her. And I was just like, she just said she texted her. That's not my problem that she didn't look at the text. Like, Mary Jane wants to run her family in the way she wants to orchestrate how her family should be. And it's aggravating to me because nobody asked you of these things. You volunteered yourself. Her pa in there. I'm sorry. Her dad's in there. He can very well take her to the doctor. You are not needed. You are just one of those people who feel like I'm not as good as if my family isn't dependent on me. You're still as good as you still are. I'm sorry, y'all. There are parts of Mary Jane that aggravate the entire crap out of me. Anyway, Andre makes it home, and he, gets the kid. He's with the kids. Kids go wherever they go. He goes into the room, his room. He hears crying. He goes in there and he finds Avery sitting on the floor in the closet crying. So, oh no. I'm sorry. That's the next scene. So Andre makes it home, and Avery is sitting at the counter, and she tells him what's going on with the kids. Like, hey, you got to go read the book. We just put down, we just sponsored something. He was like, I thought we just gave them $10,000 for the kids' school. She was like, that's for something else. And so he tells her, hey, we need to talk. So immediately she was like, do you remember Jill? And he was like, Jill, the one who used to flirt with you. And it's just like, Avery, I get it. You're pissed. That's fine. And so she was like, well, she found out her husband was cheating on her, and she decided that she didn't want to leave him. So she tells Andre, but what she did was wrote up a post-nup, and it states if he cheats again, she gets the house and the kids. And then she pushes the papers over to him. And he looks at her. He was like, I don't care how bad things get between you and I. You would never take my kids away from me. And he pushes that post-nup right back at her. And this is when Avery realized, oh my God, you're in love with her. Listen, your husband just purchased a ring for her. The fact that I get that you have to fight for your marriage, y'all, and that's fine. But if it's so hurtful to you, oh, please don't stay. Don't stay. So Avery says to Andre, I don't know. It just, I'm sorry, y'all. Let me just say this. It just kind of felt like, in this moment, it kind of felt like some pick me behavior. Like, the way we would have went to court, I already got money. I'm rich. Okay. We gonna go to court. We can do this. We can divorce. Baby, it's over. If you want to go have her. Okay. I don't have time. Because it seems as though you don't want to be there. It has nothing to do with this lady over here, but it's just the point that you don't want to be here. And that is okay. And you could go spread your wings and go do whatever you need to do. I'll feel all my feels in right over here. I don't need you for that. I just need us to co-parent. Anyway, so we get to back to Mary Jane's parents' house, and Patrick is in the kitchen. She walks in the kitchen, and Mary Jane walks in the kitchen and immediately tells Patrick, oh, so I see your daughter didn't get to her doctor's appointment and for your granddaughter. And it's just like the judgment when she's around her family. And in the words of Candy, Mary Jane has a stank superior attitude. Shout out to Candy when it comes to her family. Like, girl, if you don't get the out of my... The way I would have mushed Pauletta's face. Okay, and if you don't know, Mary Jane's real name is Pauletta. It is Patrick, Paul Jr., and Pauletta. But she changed it to Mary Jane. Why? I don't know. So he was like, Patrick tells Mary Jane, well, I've already taken her to the doctor. And she was like, why you didn't tell me? Why do he have to tell you? That's his daughter. That's what I'm seeing. The martyr. Y'all see that? Nobody has to tell you anything. Nobody has to share anything with you. He tells her, your niece is heartbroken. Can you go give her some grace? Can you go upstairs and give her a hug and talk to her? Like, she always on 10. Like, she always be on some bullshit. Like, I promise y'all, my nose is itching. I could not deal with her. Okay? Oh, Lord. And so she was like, well, what are you cooking? He was like, gumbo. And oh Lord, y'all, I am tripping. Can we scratch all of that? Cause that is not what happened. That is the next scene. Y'all, I am tripping. I need to go to bed. Okay, so listen. At the parental's house, Patrick goes sit next to Niecy, and he tells her that Andre isn't coming. And she was like, why are you saying that he's coming? And then the way I would have yanked Niecy, but you can't because she's pregnant. Like, and she was like, he's not coming. And she was just sitting there so delusional. Like, she aggravated me because she needs to grow up. Like, I get why Mary Jane gets frustrated because Niecy needs to grow up. But at the same time, you cannot come in here with all of this angst and all of this frustration and all of this judgment, okay? So anyway, she tells her dad to stop saying that. So Patrick tells Niecy, I told you and your sister that boys will say a lot to get into your drawers, okay? She said he should have some type of parents that'll make him do the right thing. But his little punk ass so busy trying to prove he's black, he's going around having babies because that's what he think black men do. The black men do. Low key, y'all really do. Anyway, I'm sorry. So she looks at her dad and says, he's coming. Girl, I was like, baby, she irritated me, okay? So, what's her name? Mary Jane is back in her office at work. She gets a package, and in the package is the engagement ring and a note from Andre saying, I need you to think about it. Boy, if you don't get the So she's looking at the note. She's looking at the ring, like fetishizing over the ring. And she wants to put it on. You can look at her and tell, I want to put it on and I want to do this. And it's like, you smile it like, girl, you don't not throw that ring in no garbage. But you know, go pawn it or some girl. I don't know. But I will return that ring right back to the store and get the money. Okay? So we see that Mary Jane is still pissed off at Kara, which is nothing new, because she don't want her to work with Mark. And that Kara went behind her back and made a decision to work with Mark without even talking to Mary Jane. That was that on that. And so she was like, you know, you always, when I get upset, she tells Kara, when I get upset, you always want to turn this around as if I'm some type of angry black woman. And that irritates me, because that's the other reason why I don't like Kara. Because she makes it seem like Mary Jane can't express herself without you reminding her that she's the angry black woman. If y'all don't go to hell with that statement, everybody gets angry. Sorry, why am I getting so mad? Everybody gets angry. It's not just the black women. It's everybody. Anyway, she goes to dinner with her dad. I don't know. Sometimes I just feel like when it comes to marriage or whatever, Mary Jane's head is always in a cloud, and she looking for this fairy tale and live happily ever after. And it's like, but this is your reality. You found out that the man, first of all, you're still in love. You're in love with two men at the same time, and that's fine because it happens. Okay. Second, one of the men you found out he was married, and the other one just won't commit. So, and you just haven't moved on from that. So anyway, Catherine, this woman named Catherine that is friends with Mary Jane's mom, comes over, and basically she came over to throw her wolf punani at Mr. Paul. Girl, leave Richard Roundtree alone, okay? So she tells Paul, and I'm sorry, you know, they exchanged pleasantries, and you could tell she was really flirting with Paul, okay? With a fake ass, okay? Like, you gonna try to act like you this lady friend, but meanwhile you want to be all up in that lady husband face. Girl, goodbye. So she tells her dad that you do know that Miss Catherine want to do some nasty stuff to you, baby. He said, tell her to get in line, because I'm first in that line, okay? I got you, Mr. Paul. I got you. Anyway, y'all, Mary Jane and Mark starts to talk. She talks about the show, and then they talk about, you know, marriage and yada, yada, yada. So Mary Jane walks in the mom and dad's house. She goes in the kitchen. This is the part I stated earlier. You know, she go in the kitchen. She talked to Patrick and was like, oh, so your niece missed her appointment to check on your granddaughter. And he was like, well, I already took her. And she was like, well, why didn't you tell me? He was like, listen, that's not important. Your niece is upstairs. Her heart is broken. You need to go check on her. Instead, her is want to be the martyr and everybody damn mama. Girl. Sorry. Oh, Lord. So then she asked, what are you cooking? He was like, gumbo. He was like, you know, they have some company over here. And so she hear voices. So she goes into the living room to find Catherine with her legs crossed, with her hand touching on Mr. Paul, talking about, oh, you so funny, girl, if you don't go to hell. And so she go in there acting real childish, which I don't blame her, because you waiting on my mama to come downstairs. Meanwhile, you trying to flirt with my daddy, okay? So y'all, she come and she just folded her arms and, you know, rolled her neck. And so she was like, how was your show? Fine. How's it? Good. And so she knew she was sitting too close, because when Mary Jane came, she moved her little fast tail over. Okay? Baby, she was too close. First of all, you too close to Mr. Paul. Get over. So, in the next scene, Andre walks in the door with the kids. He goes into the closet. This was another thing that I did. Goes into the closet. Y'all forgive me. Really forgive me. He goes into the closet and sees that Avery is on the floor crying. And she throws him out. Get out! Get out! Get your... She didn't say that. But she was like, get out! Get out! Girl, why are you making a scene? Okay. So in the next scene, Mary Jane goes to her mom's room. Her mom tells her, hand me that picture over there. I used to have some nice legs. And your father, Paul, would take me on a ride in a Porsche that he bought me. And it wasn't the ride. I'm paraphrasing. But it was every time I got out the car. Because he wanted to see my legs. Get out the car. That was cute. I didn't find her annoying at this point. And we found out what I did not know because I didn't pay attention, that she was a high school principal. And so she didn't know that this illness, that's what she was telling Mary Jane, like, I didn't know that this illness was going to take place in my body. And so she has lupus. I want to say it was lupus. And she has beautiful hair, but she has all these wigs in her closet. And so she does miss those things. And, Mary Jane has a moment where she actually feels bad for her mom. Like, all of those times she's been off-putting with her mom, she actually has a moment and she feels bad about it. Anyway, Mary Jane is having a ladies' night. So Kira comes over and apologizes to her. Mary Jane gets a stripper. Tamiko is there. Tamiko was the woman. Mary Jane used to work for CNN. And so she was fired and she was replaced by the woman named Tamiko. And Mary Jane has been a little salty about that ever since. Breedley has a really amazing job, but I forgot her name in the scene. Breedley, is friends with Mary Jane and Lisa. Lisa is the doctor. Lisa comes over. So in the next scene, Avery and Andre talk. She tells him, when I first met you, you was raggedy, but I built you up and I fixed you, and now you want to leave me and go get with another woman. I was like, oh my God. So in the next scene, the ladies are drinking. We find out Tamiko, she did get the anchor job. Of course, she got the promotion at CNN. She's engaged. And you can look at Mary Jane's face and see that she's visibly jealous because she felt like that was supposed to be her life. Coupled with the fact that this woman is engaged and there's a possibility of marriage and a baby later on. Yeah, but she keep it together. But you can tell low-key she was mad. All right, the girl, please. So Breedley, I'm going to call her Breedley because I don't know her character name on being Mary Jane. So she says, we find out that she messing with a married man. So here go Kara. Kara is triggered. And she was like, that's how Kara's marriage ended. Her and Paul, I forget her ex-husband's name. They divorced because he was cheating. And she said he cheated because all she did was work. And it's like, child, please, people do what they want. So she tells Breedley that she's a home wrecker and you're proud of destroying marriages. Breedley was like, I am saving his marriage. She says, listen, I'm not the other woman, but I'm the modern day Geisha. And the whole time, Mary Jane's sitting there. Now that I would say this, Mary Jane's not intentionally sleeping with Andre, but she did the other day at the gym. But prior to her finding out, she did not know. But of course, Mary Jane's going to keep she's very tight-lipped on her life. Okay? So Kara asks, what did she get out of it? And Breedley was like, baby, I get trips, gifts, sexy text messages, regular schmecks, and I get to kick him out the next morning. And he don't get to crowd my space. And it's like, Why are you holding her to task? And I get where Kara is coming from, but this is not her marriage. This is that other man's marriage. Like, he know how to say no. But you're trying to hold her to task because you was cheated on. Girl. So meanwhile, Mary Jane is sitting there quiet AF. Okay. Lisa says, everybody start, this is this part of confession. Lisa says she didn't vote for Obama. And of course, Kara didn't vote for him either. Okay. They give me, I'm Republican. So the ladies, we find out all the ladies still buying weed from PJ, which is Mary Jane's brother. Kara has been sleeping with the intern Carlos, and Tamiko purchased her new engagement ring, and her and her fiance are at odds because she purchased the engagement ring that she wanted. She didn't like the one that he got her, and so she was like, I don't want to lose him. And she tells him, if you have a good one, hold on to that ring, whatever ring he gives you. And it's like, why? If this is something you don't like, I just kind of feel like you don't have to, hey, I don't like this. And this is probably why I ain't got one. Okay. But, is it because he can't afford it? Because that's a whole different story. You wanted what you wanted. Yeah, you should have had that conversation with him and be like, you know what? I love you. Yada, yada. And he probably would have got mad. But you shouldn't have went and bought a ring behind his back. It's something that people notice. Okay? That is very noticeable. I don't know. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't do that, but I would know. Okay? And so, they was asking Mary Jane, okay, so what are your secrets? You sitting here quiet. You sitting here gaining 5 pounds, sitting on here munching on food while we spilling our tea. What's your tea, girl? What's tea? Okay? So she goes in the freezer to pull out David's sperm, let them know that she has been holding on to his sperm. Of course, Lisa is visibly upset. This is just desperate. Girl, didn't you just trying to unalive yourself? Anyway, so back over at Andre and Ava's house, they talk. He tries to basically blame her for his affair. Meanwhile, Mary Jane's texting him, just constantly texting him, and she was like, "Is that your whore?" And so he kept responding. He didn't respond. He kept looking at the phone. Boy, what the you looking at the phone for? And I'm sitting here. We're sitting here as your wife. I'm having a conversation with you with your disrespectful. So he was like, "You don't never give me head." Okay. And you knew what you married. Let's be clear. Okay. She don't do that. Okay. Avery doesn't do that. And it's been a while since they've slept together. And so she was like, "We've slept together." And he was like, well, when we sleep together, it feels like you're just doing it just because. So I guess he don't feel the love and the passion when they sleep it together. I was like, Lord, somebody get him a tissue. Okay? So, after all of that, she was like, "Who's gonna like my stretch marks?" And she showed her stretch marks, and he was just looking. And after all of that, he sleeps with her. She's emotional. She's crying, and I guess he sleeps with her because if she leave out, he can't leave out the house to go sleep with Mary Jane because that's really where he want to be. Let's keep it all the way clear. He's about to whatever he doing, whatever he want to do over here, he about to do it over here because it's convenient for him. And she's just like taking in her emotions is just high, and it's like you're not even what's on his mind right now or who. Like, So the next morning, he sleeps with his wife, and then the next morning Mary Jane wakes up, looking for her phone. Come to find out, she hasn't gotten a response from Andre. As you should not. Because you shouldn't have been texting him. But whatever. Whatever. Andre is responsible. He's the sole proprietor of his marriage. Not Mary Jane. Anyway, this is where the episode ends, y'all. I'm so sorry I didn't give y'all Being Mary Jane the other day. I was so tired. I went to sleep late doing those 2 videos. And I think tomorrow I'm going to give y'all Family of Fiance. And then, of course, Sunday we're going to get Housewives of Atlanta and what was the other one? Married to Medicine, second part of the reunion. Anyway, on y'all way out, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Click the notification button every time I drop a video, so every time you can get a video that I drop. And also keep me in the algorithm. Okay, go ahead and like up and thumbs up my video, because y'all like really love me. Okay, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.